So Neil, we've been friends for a long time. My name's Dean McEvoy, but maybe you can tell a few people at home just a little bit of your history. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, get a little bit to know you. I know a few of the answers, but it'd be good for a few people at home. Are you happy with that?
Yep.
So just for the people that don't know you, let them know who you are and what the name of your business is.
Yeah, Neal Ashworth, White Gorilla Developments.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. Obviously, you've got this silly English accent. So you grew up in England. What part of England did you grow up in?
Yeah, Manchester.
Manchester. So how did you get into like building, or where did you start your life? Where was it?
Oh, my dad, building company, helping him, being a carpenter.
So your dad was a builder?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did so you grew up with him being a builder, and then you helped him at home? And
yeah, helped with the extension, and then I left school.
Fast forward, you were 7 years with your own business in Manchester, then you moved over to Australia. Tell me about what brought you out here.
Yeah, I came here just backpacking, and then the usual, you just stay. And I got a job as a site foreman for a mid-tier construction company.
Okay, and so what did the site foreman mean? You were kind of managing a team of people?
Yeah, managing a team of people, building a small factory in Surrey Hills.
Yep.
And then Starbucks coffee shops, building them around, around the country.
All around the country, right?
Yeah, went to Queensland and built
some. So from scratch, you were like someone would find the site and you managed the project from start to completely finish.
To open day, yeah. The press came in for each of the open day launches.
Great.
Managed up to that process, yes.
So we've known each other for a long time. I know that you also built some hospitality venues. You were involved in the renovation on the Bourbon and Beefsteak, I believe, in Kings Cross.
Yes, that's the first official renovation since the 70s.
Yeah.
Documented in the council that it was a renovation. So we were the first ones to go in there and make it into what it is today, make it into a nightclub and supporting beams to take the extra load of everyone dancing upstairs.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure we went and tested it out a few times, I remember as well. So you worked in kind of big construction and started to work your way up. And then, so how many years were you in Australia before you started your own business?
So 11 years, 2011 started White Gorilla.
Okay.
After working for some of those big co-ops, and I was senior management positions looking after different sites, different site formats.
So getting a good salary, managing, being a team. Why? What was the itch that you were trying to scratch? What do you think? What was the problem you were trying to solve that you saw in the world that you thought you could deliver with White Gorilla?
Oh, it's all the big corporate tools and learnings, how to run those big powerful developments.
Yeah.
You can use all those same tools and scale it back down to the smaller developer.
So all the tools that you learned with all these big construction projects, multi-million-dollar thing, the same sort of systems and tools and processes that they use to be really successful in their developments, you're trying to take to the average consumer who's trying to get into property development and start. So you're like a property developer for hire.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
You can use that for the smaller guy. That's right.
Interesting. And why the name White Gorilla?
Well, that came from the Bourbon and Beefsteak. Just there were some gorillas up in the attic. They were all in bin bags, and we just had them through the years. So
you've told me something before, like that idea of the idea of a big gorilla. Being big and strong.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's got all the strength of a gorilla, but it's got all the care to look after your home.
Yeah,
correct.
So sort of that thesis of where you are with your business, you've got the background of a big company, but the care of something so small.
Correct.
Yeah, so like a rare thing, something so big that cares about something, but it's, so small. White Gorilla, that makes sense. So you started White Gorilla, and tell me tell me what your first customer was. I mean, to tell the people at home, a bit of a disclosure, I was Neal's first customer.
Maybe that first invoice, 001, was for you,
yeah. Yeah. So I remember, to give everyone at home a bit of a background, my story is I sold a business and made some money, and I have absolutely no idea about property development. And so when Neal was saying he was starting a business, I was like, great, what's your business? And he pitched it to me, and I was like, cool, property developer for hire. I've got some money, I don't know anything about property. Neal, help.
Yeah, so you had this cash you wanted to put into bricks and mortar, therefore a search for that right property that's going to add that right value.
Yeah. So I remember what you did is you said, I was really busy still running the business. I was like working 12, 13-hour days, I had money and no time, and you basically said, just give me a budget of what you want to spend, and you went and did it all. So you went and found all these properties, you researched areas, like you were saying that Alexandria was coming up and all these things. I remember it was a great analysis you kind of did on the market.
That starts with your search brief. What's your criteria? What's the risk? What's the timeline you want to invest that money in?
Yep.
And I put your search brief into what's going to perform in the market.
Right.
That's what I went out to find.
and I remember you came back, you gave me like 3 options. I can't even remember if I even went looking at the first ones with you. I think you actually just found it. And then you did all the negotiations on the first one. I think I just wrote you a deposit check, and then
I had the check, and then I was doing all the negotiations. That's right.
Yeah, and so
you sat back looking pretty.
I did. Well, it's a tough job. I don't do a very good job of that. So then we had the property, and it was end-to-end management. I remember you kind of you went and talked to council. Well, before you bought the property, you had an idea of what could be built.
The reason we bought that property is because it was a crappy 2-bedder. It had that potential that you could rip the back out, extend it, rear lane access. It had all those key traits that you want to purchase in a site.
And so to understand what you could do, you had to understand. So for people at home who might be thinking of doing this, they've got to go look at council.
You just got to know those council rules, the regs. Is it in the right zoning? Can you actually do it to that property? What's the trend in the street? What does the area need? Yeah. All those trigger points.
So you can see that it'll be easy to get through council. I remember you were saying that the goal is to try and not go through a DA if possible. Try and just do a...
Yeah, if you can do a compliant development certificate, a CDC, then it's all in your court. You've got more control, it's quicker.
And we did that with the second property.
Yeah, the second one, we did it all ourselves,
So, so you went through the whole process. That's right. The first one we did a council DA approval. I just signed the documents. Yeah. And then you went and kind of found the property, upgraded it, kind of did all the renovations, and then I think we sold it just recently for about a $300,000 profit. $450,000 profit? $415. Yeah, cool. I probably should know that. But it was a good result. And so now you've tested it with me, you've tested it with a few other clients, and the model now is people just pay you your fees, but you take a percentage of the upside. How does it work? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so in that search brief now, it's an initial payment for that search brief. Then I get to know all the knowledge of where you want to go in your journey. What is your buying power? What are your risks? Where do you want to sit? I go out and find all those properties.
So you like a buyer's agent, or
no?
I work
with buyer's agents for your journey, whichever area they're best suited. I use them for their knowledge, and I select the right buyer's agent for what you want out of that.
So if you're someone who might be inclined to go and look and find a place yourself, so if you're an individual, you can go and find a short list of properties, and then you'll go and review them and tell them which ones be able to add value for with the least amount of cost.
Yeah, which one perform, what you can do with one, hold that one, that won't do anything. Yes, you can renovate that one. Okay. Yes, you can knock that one down and you can develop it.
Right, so you'd help people make that decision. So whether they want to go and look at them themselves or whether work with a buyer's agent, doesn't matter. Yeah, so you'd work with them, and then at the buyer stage, and then you work out the renovation. So if they want to, then they can just hand it over to you and have nothing involved, or they can be as involved as they want. And then you work out that process, council approval, and you manage the project end to end.
Yep. Manage the council, get it approved, interview the builders, select the right builder, manage that build process till he finishes, and then the sales and marketing campaign. If they want to sell it, lease it, or refinance.
The thing I liked about working with you was that I paid you fees along the way, but then you were incentivized by the increase in the value of the property. Yeah. Is that still the case?
Yeah, so my cost is to actually get to that point to get you your finished product. Yeah. But how my profit in that system is how much that performs at the end, how much profit it makes. I've got skin in the game. I want that to perform because that's my profit.
I really love that because it's like everyone's goals are aligned. You've got to cover your costs because there's a lot of costs in terms of getting things approved and managing and your time and all that kind of thing. But you really only kind of make your dollars.
That's right.
It's aligned with the owner. And you can bring them along with the journey. So for someone kind of just wanting to get into property investing, so many stories of people who try and manage investments and renovations themselves, and they all go pear-shaped. Yeah. So I think it's a good way, especially for people who want to, invest, got some money to invest, and want to kind of just not have the headaches. I honestly, I've heard people that have these renovation nightmares, and I don't know what they're talking about because I just wrote a check and you looked after it all, and it was super, super helpful. So I think it'd be good for anyone else out there. Is there anything else that you think that you, because it's a pretty unique model, right? There's buyers agents out there and there's builders, but there's no one that really looks at that whole process.
It's end to end. It's really getting on board of what your whole journey is, your package of your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan.
Yeah.
And aligning the property you're going to buy with that journey.
Mm.
So putting all those people in place, which is your finances, your structure, the buyer's agent, all the way through to that sale and leasing to bring in that.
Because there's so much you've taught me, like about property and how you can unlock equity in it. So if you have an existing property, how you can, you think you don't have the money to do the renovation, and then you can just refinance things, and here's some money, and here's how you can kind of roll it into a new investment. Yeah,
that's right. You can use that for that line of credit, take it across, use that for the holding cost for the next one.
Right. And I know now, like you're progressing me on the path of property development. So now we're looking at kind of doing a bigger development where we go and buy a site in Melbourne, knock down a house, and put like 4 units up. So it's super interesting, the journey from someone who's never had an idea at all about property. Now I've got a bit of an idea, but I haven't had to like kill myself doing it. Yeah, I just sort of have learned along the way with you, and it's been a really good process. So I think if anything else you think you could tell anyone at home that might be interesting for them to kind of get a vibe for how you work or what it does.
So my vision is everyone can be a property developer. My mission is to share my knowledge so you can succeed.
Yeah, well, you've done that for me already, and I think it'd be super interesting for anyone else out there looking to get into it. Yeah. Good luck with it, man. It's been a pleasure on the White Gorilla journey, and I'm gonna keep joining you on it. Thanks. Cheers.